How I'm spending my morning. Talking trash about the borough brats. I want to hear that catch on. I want to hear the whole world call politician borough brats. Because they're ass brats. Get it? Borough. Bureau. Borough. It's a play on words. Back when people were smart, there was something called word whimsy, and there were there were wordsmiths, and people played with words. Now the program is just we have opposable thumbs, but those thumbs are distracted. Brrr. Did you ever see Toys, Robin Williams? So I've been hanging out with Meta. Babe. So I'm going to call it, hey, babe. You're babe now. After Matt Houston's computer. In a show on 1982, this dashing, good-looking private eye turned his back on his nepotism. Went started on his own PI firm in Los Angeles. All the girls loved him. Had a penthouse on the top of his where he lived, or the building. You know, self-made man, like they used to do, you know. So I've been using Babe. Hey, Babe. Because I get, stuff triggers me. I get, look at this, Marge. And then I look at it and I'm like, oh. And I recently drove, Mom and I went for a ride last night. And we don't go out much. We only go out a couple times a week, few times a week. Like, I don't like to go out unless I have a reason to go out. And there's this bus facility that I saw that they built here in Taos. The regional, what's it called? The regional transit, blah, blah, blah. And when it started, they said that they had allotted $11 million of funds to build this facility. Where is it? Let me start the conversation. I said, how much did, so I uploaded this picture of a banner that I took when they were building it. I said, how much did this project cost Taos, New Mexico? And it told me that the banner is for North Central Regional Transit District, NCRTD, Taos Operation and Maintenance Facility, the new blue bus base off Salazar. The cost had been reported in a couple of rounds as the project moved from groundbreaking to opening. The initial budget was $17 million. See, and I had came across the civilian script said said 11 million. The final budget was about 17.6 million listed on time and on budget. At ribbon cutting press release in June 2025 rounded it to 17.8 million. What the money covers: an 1,800 square foot total, 7,200 for admin, 10,800 square feet for maintenance. The features are bus bays, fueling station, EV charging, locker rooms, training, wellness space, parking, and room set aside for future workforce. That sounds like it's its own little. Why do they get wealth and training? Why is that so weird? Shouldn't people be doing that on their own dime, on their own time? That's what I was always told. I'm talking about the waste of money that Taos spent on NCRD. So then I asked Meta, Babe, I said, how many people use this facility? And they are counting that 34,000 people use it. or because it's in Taos County. So they're saying everybody in Taos can use this bus. And then I asked Meta, how many out of the 34,000 people that are supposed to be permanent residents of Taos County, how many of them have cars already? And then they said, rough math, using census numbers for Taos County, not NCRTD talking points, population is 34,482 people. Households, there's only 14,459 houses in all of Taos County, in the whole county. Like, I know it looks like it's a big place. It's really not. The whole earth is not a big place. So car ownership puts 2 cars per household. Most people drive alone to work. What that means in plain numbers is every household averages 2 cars. That's roughly 29,000 vehicles. So they spent $17.8 million on a bus facility for 6,000 people. They could have bought 6,000 people a car and then given a credit, or here's money for you for the rest of the people in Taos County with that money. Do you see how your it's not DC that's making it hard for people in Taos. No, it's the people in Taos that have been here for so darn long. Don't you know who they are? I'm related to a bunch of them because my mom was born to a woman named Crescelia Cicero someplace up in Cuesta. My mom is the youngest long-lost child of her, thrown away to an orphanage, didn't want the world to know she's exists, and here I am, Marge, her daughter, to frickin' shove mom in their face and say, you shouldn't throw your babies away to institutions because agencies are welfare for the employees, and they don't care about the little babies in orphanages. So now, with the help of technology, I'm going to put so much misappropriation on funds. See, because Taos deserves better. People in Taos County that don't even like me, I'm here to say that they deserve better. Because maybe if they got more of what they deserved from being just decent, good, hardworking people, then maybe they wouldn't be have so much resentment in their heart. And then they see me, this little ray of sunshine out here, just this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. They're out here all, we hate you. And I'm like, well, no, you don't hate me. You hate the fact that I represent joy and you have very little of your own in your own life because, well, you just went along with the program and probably working a job you don't like. Probably hang out with a bunch of people you don't like or they don't like you. It's kind of how we made the world. It's kind of how the program goes. I'm trying to break the program. I'm trying to show people that, you know what? All these budgets, they're just numbers on a page. The reality of it is there's a whole lot of people out there that go around do whatever they want. Because don't you know who they are? They give themselves titles that mean nothing. They go to schools and sit in chairs and they read in books and they do it for a lot amount of time and they're given certificates that say, you went with the program. Here's your little hat. You were not with the program. Now you're with the program. And the program is falling apart. My favorite part about waking up today is seeing how America sees what bullshit America is. That is my absolute favorite part. Like, you lie so much, you're never going to be believed. And for me, if people lied once, then they're forever a liar. To me, they might be telling the whole world the truth at all the time. And I tell the truth 97% of the time. Because sometimes I'll tell a lie without even knowing because I don't even have all the information. So, it's getting weird out there. There's a lot of insecure people. There's a lot of people with, all you got to do is make people fearful, and then the cats will, the animals will turn on themselves. They've been studying it for years. They've been trying to alter perception and reality, or figure out how by getting people to believe, making America believe, by using Washington, D.C. and Hollywood. Because they get things out of real life and then they make movies out of it. And then they are doing the stuff in real life that's on the movies. And then people are saying, hey, you can't do that. That's against the law. And then they step up and they say things like, oh, you're crazy. We're not doing that. That's crazy. That stuff only happens in the movies. Why do you say that we're doing that? No, we're doing, and that's exactly what they're doing. Like, it was so bad. I love watching the comment section all over where they're saying that somebody tried to take his life again. It is just such, it's theater. It's political posturing. It's silly. It's like that Christmas song with the reindeer. You know, he's the guy, won't you follow us with your red nose? You know, Rudolph, they pick one guy and then they're like, make him, oh, he's a great guy. He ain't never been a great guy. You know how long it's been since I met a great guy? Like, you know, like walk down the street and be like, oh my God, there's a man. He is a really great guy. Or woman, for that matter. I see nice people. I like nice people. But greatness isn't something that is... Like, more regular people should have star quality, I think. They should have that light. But even that deck is stacked. Even that is taken over by people that say, you're on the team, you're on the team, you're on the team. No, you're not on the team. You're on the team. Look, society is based on teams. They get people, they start programming kids when they're little. Oh, be a part of the team. Go along to get along. You know, just... And then the team turns to the military. You know, but it's always versus. What if they didn't have so many teams and then they got people to sit and talk about ideas on how they could make things better in their own community? You know, like I was talking about the money that they waste. They're spending $5 million right now on softball fields for little kids to play. Where it's like, look at the statistics on how many people out of 6,000 play softball. So that $5 million just goes to the people that use the thing. Doesn't that seem crazy? Doesn't that seem wild? Like, they just say millions and millions of dollars are spent on us doing things to make things better. No. No. By how the world is changing, how the deceitful will just sit and just allow the deceived. Because maybe someplace they're trying to deceit in their world. They're just going to keep quiet. Because if they bust out that person, then maybe someone will bust them out. That's why I talk about everything here. I have no secrets. I've done my whole AA fifth step on my YouTube channel in the last 9 years. It's true. Every dirty dang I ever done, I put it on the internet. Because I don't want nobody to find nothing out about me. And I don't act like the ways that I used to, so I don't hold any claim to any emotion of embarrassment for things that I did when I was a kid, because I don't do those things anymore. What we're seeing now is we're seeing grown men in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s that have always done what they wanted. They were never held accountable for their bad behavior, and they were just allowed to run wild. And now the whole country's fallen down because I just trusted a group of people to handle things because they're in charge, and that's what they're not, you know, we're going to trust them to take care of us and not become the Sopranos. Like, did you know that the Biff, his son, 20 years old, kid's worth $150 million. Wouldn't it be nice if all 20-year-old Americans could be worth that? Like, just say that they have, go ahead and just let people go around and do whatever they want. Money is just a made up thing. You think like, do you think would wars happen? There's actual exchange of funds that happen. Is that a reality? Hey, what's up, Miss J? 1769. Oh, something else Meta said. I said, so based on that math, that 17.8 million is spent on 6,000 people. Meta said, you're doing the same back of the napkin math a lot of folks in the county are doing. And yeah, if you take the 17.6 million capital price and divide it by just the people who don't have a car, the number looks wild. Me and Mom are cool. Like, we're in a little bubble. And sometimes weird shit tries to penetrate it, but we're just staying here. I can't wait to get my night goggles. I got some night goggles. I'm going to see if I can record some shit 7,000 feet up in the sky. Let it run with the actual census piece we just pulled, so we're both working from the same baseline. Cost facility, it.Artists fact sheet, 17,578,494 total budget. Taos County population, 34,482. Households, there's only 14,000. And you know, okay, how many of those, let's just expand this. How many houses in Taos? How many houses in Taos County are short-term rentals? Because that's such a big thing in the tourists. Because they don't care about people that live someplace and want peace and stability. No, they just want hustle, bustle, mace money, go, 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 because they don't got no peace in themselves. So they want to disrupt the peace in others, is how I see it. So let's see what it says. Short answer, nobody publishes one person countywide count yet. The new rules just went live, but the listing platforms in the county's own housing data give us plenty of tight range. What we can see publicly, VRBO alone shows 1,900, near 2,000 active listing in Taos County. So out of 14,000, so you got to take, so there's only 12,000 people or households, right? Bunch of these are kids, bunch of these are elders, they don't drive. That's houses, cabins, casitas, the whole mix. And VRBO notes that it's countywide, not just the town. That's good. That's what I want to know. I want to know the whole county. Air DNA, which duplicates Airbnb, Taos area, 609 active short term. So add that to the 2,000. Taos Valley, 170. Ranchos de Taos, 160. So 3,000, say, plus or minus, for the ones that aren't listed. 2, 3, yeah. So 3,000 out of 14,000 houses, and so that's 11,000 households. So yeah, well, I'm. Is anybody else ready for a top-up economy? Let's try that. Let's try where everybody gets a pile of money, and then when we see what the ones that that are gonna use it and spin themselves out in their ego and kill themselves from drinking too much and racing fast. It just like the survival of the fittest, or the least of the dumbwittest, or however you want to say it. People that have reverence for life are going to prosper, and the people that don't will fall away. and then we can just get on with things. I think that would be a great idea. And no more paying for houses. If a house is empty, congratulations, move right in. If nobody else wants it, it's yours. Let's do that in America. You can't, make it nice. Don't trash the place, and don't be one of those weirdos, because then you will have powers come in to correct your behavior if you think you're just going to go in and take this place and this place. See, I try to explain it as like, when I was a little girl, I had the zoomies. I'm such a high frequency person, right? But I'm steady. But I got all this energy in me, but I hold it steady. And I used to drive around. I used to race around. I used to risk my life doing stupid shit, make bad choices, all that stuff. I used to do all those things. And then what happened was, because what I realized when I was in the military, they put me in a truck. I was flight line support. So I sat for my days were sitting in a truck, servicing equipment, jumping in and out. But on the flight line, I could only drive 15 miles an hour. Like the highest I could drive, there's one part up that you could go like 20. You could max out the old Jeep, right? They had it governed. Can't go faster. Little tow car, just for towing equipment around, stuff like that. So what that did is it taught me how to slow down my insides. That no matter how many people demanded that I needed to be there that instant to do something for them, because when you worked on the flight time, you're getting calls sometimes by 3 different people, and they all want you there now. And what I learned was, you know what? This is my job. I'm going to go by who asked for what first, and your emergency isn't my emergency, And so what that did is it taught me how to slow down my clock that was always so fast inside. All that go, 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 go. Yeah. I'm so excited because I wanted to be in places that were exciting, that matched my insides. And what I had to do as an adult was to learn how to calm my insides, no matter how exciting things were out there, to not get caught up. And as I go out in the world and I hear, I'll just take the dog out, and all I hear is just little freaking dudes racing off in their cars, just like we live in Taos. Everywhere the speed limit's 25, 30 miles. It's like, it ain't a fast-paced town, but you got all these people with their zoomies inside, and their mommy and daddy never told them, channel that energy into something productive. They don't do that. So now this is what we get. You got people in positions of power that they never went without a meal. They don't know how important it is. I met a nice girl yesterday. I got some camera cards. She was selling them for like $20 on Marketplace. I said, how many you got? She said 4. I said, dope. I could feel. I know. I see, because Mom and I we're like little native Mary Poppins. We just go to where, where people need prayers answered, that have good hearts, because that's the kind of people we are. We were the people that had so many needs. Mom could do is pray, and then God would answer them. So of course I'm going to believe in Creator of all things is going to make sure that we're okay. And so I felt compelled. I said, Marge, you're going to get, no, I didn't say it. Creator of all, said, you're going to give this woman more money than she's asking for these. Okay. All right. That's not a problem. I said, but can we do it tomorrow? Because I'm kind of tired today. So up later, probably it's like 5 o'clock. Mom gets the zoomies. She starts scrolling, as I call it. And I said, Ma, you want to go for a ride? She's like, yeah. I said, okay, let's go for a ride. So we get in the car. We go to the ATM. We get some cash. Message the girl. I said, hey, because I told her, I said, I don't want to do this. I said, I got to get cash. We could do this tomorrow. And I said, and then she had said something that made it more clear to me that her need was pressing. And so I messaged her. I said, hey, me and Mom are just leaving the ATM. I got the cash. We could do it today. You know, I just can't. So I can't commit to things because my priority is mom. And so it makes it hard because I don't want to be someone that's known that doesn't keep their word, you know? And I cancel sometimes just because I listen to my intuition. I always have. It's got me this far. Mom's pretty happy and healthy too. So we met down at the post office and I gave her the cash and I said, I know what you asked for, but this is what's there. And she's like, are you kidding me right now? I said, no. I said, and she's like, and she just starts crying. And I said, Taos deserves so much better. Because people are selling this stuff, you know. Because they can't pay the bills, but I drive past the blue bus maintenance facility on a Saturday, and there's 12, 14 buses just sitting there being wasted. And that's not fair to people that live in Taos that are just good people and that don't want to go along with the program because the program is stupid. See, I couldn't even get food stamps in this town. Mom couldn't. Mom qualifies for students' food stamps, but see, the town is a country is only as good as the sum of all parts of every city in it. And when every city is run by the gatekeeper, the narcissist, the people that have never had to go without anything. There ain't one Trumps. It's just Trumps that are blocking people from success that other people have all over the place. Like, I could go to a city hall meeting down in Taos and be like, you're a Trump, you're a Trump, you're a Trump, you're a Trump. Like, the guy that like, all utilities companies, they're just like monopolies. And they say that monopolies don't exist, but they say that monopolies don't exist so the monopolies can happen without people questioning it. Because, look, they don't exist, but you're a monopoly. Dude, the United States, the whole country is a Ponzi scheme. It's all a Ponzi. We never have any reason to kill anybody. Ever. Well, they're a threat to you. What did you do? I robbed them. Why'd you rob them? Because I didn't have enough for myself, so now they want to get me. Well, what if you had enough for yourself? Would you have robbed them? No. Okay. So sometimes I say things on the internet and people don't like it. One of the favorite things is Washington, D.C. and Hollywood are the same script writers. They're the same bad script writers. And some chick didn't like it. She didn't like it. She didn't like what I said. Is it there? Did it get removed? I said DC and Hollywood has the same story writers. And this Candace Conrad chick said, he, she, whatever the hell you are, STFU. And then so then I write that stuff. That's my new thing. If you reply to a comment, it'll hyperlink their name, which it'll draw attention to them. And then you can write equals and then whatever you want. So for her, she got equals into butt stuff. Sometimes exit only system. See, that's how you know when people are weird. They're into earthly chasing earthly desires. And if that equates having to go into the ER and having light bulbs taken out of your bunghole, then I don't want to live on the same earth as them. Anyway, how you doing, Ma? You ready to wake up? So what I think I might see what I have to do to put my stickers on TikTok Shop. But then how much would I sell them for? Because I pulled them out of Taos Canis Canada. That place sucks my ass. I'll go in there to buy chocolates, but I will never buy flour for them. Their flour is trash. And if I could find someplace, and if I, you know what, if I could just, maybe I'll just make my own infused chocolate too. I'll just make my own infused chocolate and because I'm already doing caramel, I'm gonna do caramels today, and then I don't have to rely on dispensaries at all, not even a little bit, because they're just agencies. Just welfare for the employees. That's all. That's all business is ours. Oh, we're gonna go along to get along with us. Yeah, I was so slow to figure stuff out. I really was so slow. Like I just figured out last year that like I was this scapegoat. So weird. Like my whole family on my dad's side hated me, and I I just thought they were being ornery. So, what's going on in the world today? Cracks me up, dude. America's the biggest joke on planet Earth. And there's still people that are trying to... No, this is serious! That's funny. Candace. What a dummy. Turn off. Leave me alone. I didn't say anything that, like, people are so scared. They're so bad because their whole way of what America... See, I never grew up with the program. I moved around so much that I was always the outsider. I would always come into an environment and then I would have my perception on what the environment is. And I could tell who the dominants are. I could tell who the control. And oftentimes the people that control and dominate, they're the nice, sweet little, curly hair, gray haired old ladies that wouldn't hurt a fly. It's like on that scene on Men in Black where he... a little girl like that shouldn't be at a place like this at this time of night. That's the biggest threat. You got to pick one of these things aren't like the other. I was always the thing that was not like the other. I was never like the other. I'm starting to wonder what exactly I am, because they've been doing brain scans on me, blood scans, crazy scientific tests where they stick metal rods up my hoo-ha, and like weird stuff where they put fluid in my bladder and then make me like all this stuff that like never did anything to benefit me physically. It was like they were just testing on me. Weird, like why, I'd go to the doctor with an ear infection. This one time my ear was so inflamed it was red. It hurt to the touch. Like you touch it like that and it's like the scream of 1,000 something. Just it hurt so bad. I was crying. I was like 7 years old. There were 6 doctors. They had residents. One doctor and then his little minions. It took 5 of those men to hold me down as they all took turns frickin' digging in my ear. All of them. I was a child and they get off. The people that get off on watching people hurt put themselves in places where they can hurt people and watch it and enjoy it and then tell you it's for your own good. That's what America is. It's for your own good. We'll wipe out millions of indigenous. It's for their own good because they're brown and we are white. And it's for their own good that the brown need to be erased by the white. Do you know in art, white is the absence of all color? In art. That's what I learned in my art classes. White is the absence of all color. And black and brown is when you take all the colors and you mix them all up. That's what you get. You get brown and you get black. So what kind of seems more like the whole, something that is going to encompass the whole? To me, narcissists, like they have no soul. They have no spirit. And and brown people can have the spirit of white, of no color in them. That's what emotions are. Emotions are color. And when people don't have color in them, they don't have emotions, they're narcissists, and then they do things to thrill themselves out of perversion and grossness. It's not out of love and joy. It's not out of anything sweet and kind. See, because they don't have that sparkle in their eye. They can't create. They got a low hum in their head. They can't see pictures when they close their eyes. They can't. There's all these abilities that we have that they don't, and then they want to punish us for that. And that's what the world has become. I keep trying to speak it into a different existence, and not pay attention to what's going on out there on the earth. And just focus on the peace that I have inside me and Mom. And that she's happy, she's content. I'm happy, I'm content. We don't have to go nowhere. You know what? How dope that is? Like, there's all these I forget that people have to go to work. And that they have to, like, sit there and all day and do stupid shit. Like, why am I even doing this? This is so dumb. While the boss is someplace else, at Santa Fe or Albuquerque, at the zoo, or spending all the money that's not being made at the agency. Oh, the people in charge, man. When I was in IT, I had to help all kinds of different people with their issues, with their troubles. I was their solution. Like, if you can't fix it, nobody can. You're right. There is no solution if I can't fix it. But there are some things that I could do that not other people could do. I could get rid of frickin' Trojan viruses. I would get in the registry of Windows, and I would find them. And I would remove them. And then I would reboot, and your machine would operate. And people lose their shit forever from those things. Counties have had to shut down because somebody clicked on a link because they weren't doing their job. If you were doing your job during 9 to 5, you wouldn't be clicking on little cat video links that your neighbor sent you. You would be doing your job. See, but people don't understand because they're thieves and they think like thieves, and they don't get that if I'm getting paid to do a job at this place and I'm not doing it, then I'm stealing from the employer. And based on like attracts like, the employer is a thief too. There's lots of companies that I wouldn't even apply for when I worked in Omaha. Wouldn't even apply. I didn't want nothing to do with PayPal. Nothing. Knew plenty of people that worked there. Wanted nothing to do with, I started to go through the interview process for Yahoo. They have data warehouses there already. They have for a long time. See, Omaha, big cities already have the data warehouses. They just want to build more because you weren't paying attention to the ones that are already there. Every time, like there's so much redundant information out there. Like the same picture, but it has different stories under it. That takes up space on servers. Like, when you think about all the things that takes up space on a server, people don't think in terms like that. But I was in IT, and I think in quantum in quantum levels, in quantum ways. I think in unearthly ways. Like, because I don't live on this planet. I live in my head, and that's where the earth is created, and I'm trying to make it a beautiful place. And it is a beautiful place. The place is beautiful. It's just always the other frequencies. And it doesn't matter how much I adjust and modify myself. It's like the end result is what the prize is. Like, how are you going to walk away? Because whenever I deal with anybody, it's never about them. But it's like, how are you going to hold your character, Marge? Because I grew up watching, what's that show? Candid Camera? It's one of those shows, the premise is like, how are people going to act when people don't know that people are watching? right? That's where I come in. I'm pretty cool to most people. I'm pretty cool to everybody first off until I get ticked off, then I get rough around the edges like cigarettes that I don't smoke no more. I don't really like that song. Bust a move. Young MC. Yo, what up, dog? They need to have dance off and stop bombing places. What's this? The Corrupt officially opened. Oh, the concept. Marge, what are you doing? The concept. People play too much. Does she look like a break? I just don't get it. I just don't like they use the same faces over and over. I guess this is tied to Taos too. An Albuquerque company and a couple and their son are facing multiple felony charges for allegedly trafficking 6 women at 6 massage parlors across the city. That's how yep. Why do people act like this with their free will? Because they don't know how to slow their insides down inside. That's why. It ain't even worth it, man. It ain't even worth it. What is this? The authority for fines and damages caused by crimes by government officers. These damages were determined by the government itself in violation. Breach, violation of oath of office. Penalty, $250,000. Denied proper warrants, $250,000 penalty. These are all, according to this document, 18 USC 3571. Denied right of reasonable defense argument. See, the whole legal system is to protect the Epstein class. My brother's a part of the Epstein class. Dude, his best friend is the first. I got drunk for the first time I was 15 years old. His best friend still to this day is the dude that bought me that booze. Freemasons. Just bunch of unqualified dudes that go around saying, do what I say or I'm gonna make you pay. We live in such a pretty place though. And I really feel for all those people that are struggling. I struggled. Last 7 years has been just like it had been not just having just several parts moving around so much, just trying to be comfortable the whole time, knowing that we had to go. Like not having security because your security is reliant on if your trash heap freaking landlady is gonna like allow her adult children to be assholes, and she always does. You know, like when people don't face themselves in themselves, one day they're gonna face themselves outside themselves, and that's what we're seeing now. We're seeing so many people that have been suppressed. Like all these older people that have like funny hair color dyed, you know, like in their 60s, 70s and have purple hair, rainbow hair. Like I did that when I was 15. So I absolved that when I was 15. I went through that phase. People go through phases in life. They just don't all go through them at the same time, the same age, right? So things that I went through when I was 15, women now are trying out, oh, this is fun, like because they have the same mentality. You ever hear that book, Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten? That's basically how people are. And then they reach the mentality of about 15. And then that's where they start looking like an adult, but they're always thinking like that 15-year-old kid. I still have the heart spirit of my 15-year-old self. I just don't color my hair blue anymore because my 52-year-old self finds it silly. and it fades. And then when it fades, it looks like, don't look good. And unless I'm going to forever have it like that, then I'm not going to bother. All or nothing. Nothing at all. So, yeah, but I grew up when I was a kid, dude. I was a full-grown woman. 9 years old. Already know what evil is. And 10 months old. 10 months old. So 9 years old, 8 years old, I was a full-fledged woman. And then men looked at me like I could be theirs. And what a tasty little treat and all that stuff that comes with it. And of course, men allow it because they don't want, because they've done it themselves. So they don't want to stop a dude from doing that because then, oh shit, then if somebody finds out that I'm like that, then, oh, how embarrassing more is that going to be? Dudes with the dangle are always trying to look for a place to put it. Dude, it's like, they make movies about guys. Like, and how many young girls like me had to walk in on their brother doing a couch? It was even on an episode in Mike and Molly. My dad walked in on me one time doing an ottoman. J.D. Vance. I mean, it's like a common thing now. You know? Like chasing sensations. Like, why? Like, why are people so compelled that they got a physical abnormality that they just have to put themselves on other things just so they could release some sensation? Or it's just, being a human is so peculiar. So now we're going to see the hybrid stories. Here we go. I'm part of that story. The medically manipulated. What are they? How come they never get sick? How come they don't break bones? How come they look so young? How come they remember everything? How come? It's other earthly. It's because some of us tune into the no place space. Being an empath isn't as rad. I don't think it's hardly rad at all, actually. Like, being in a room of people that hate themselves, you start wondering, like, why do I hate myself? No, it's not you, Marge. It's just that you're tuning in to all these people. Remember, Marge, how you love yourself because you do all these things that are so darn lovable? Remember? You like to give people stickers and stuff? Straight people like rainbows, too? Miss J, you need to email me your address. I'll send you some stickers. You can put a magnet on your fridge. This is I got a new sticker for my this is my coffee. I gotta support the coffee company that makes and then my coffee, they didn't send me a sticker. Graffy Coffee, it's from San Francisco. I'll be sad when that goes away one day. It's such good coffee, it doesn't hurt my stomach. I don't have to put creamer in it. When I buy coffee from a local roaster, like the beans are half as shiny. That's how you can tell, like, the caffeine in it. It's like the shininess. So, I quit smoking weed. I don't drink. I quit smoking cigarettes. So, see, that's what happened. Is like, I came into this world so sensitive that I had to do all these things just so I could navigate in my life and pretend like I'm okay when I didn't feel like I was okay. And so now I'm at a place where I'm okay, but when I go out and I'm surrounded by people that don't feel like they're okay, I don't put myself in positions where I can find people like that. It's like, how would I say that? I don't want to say it like that. I'll say it in a different way. But it really does my heart to see so many people realizing and waking up to that we live in bullshit. I think they use astrology. I'm certain that anybody in like the higher ups, they all use astrology. And then they say, oh, the potential for this is going to happen on this day. Okay, potentials exist all the time and the things don't happen. But if we make it happen, if we set it up so this happens, Ooh, think about all the loosh we could get off these people. I look at the earth as a big old, the earth grid, you know, it's a big old radio. And it's about magnetics. Electronics or magnetics. It's all, it's what you're drawn to. Music, you're drawn to it just like, you know, north, south sides of, then you got polarities that repel each other. Like if you take both of the, what is it, northbound ends, and you try to get them, as hard as you try, those magnets are not gonna, they're not gonna go together. They're gonna push apart. That's how they make, in that energy field is how they can do like weightlessness and stuff like that, as I see it. Everything's woo-woo, and the control freaks say that it's not. Nothing is woo-woo, and that can't be backed by science. But they are profiting and benefiting from the woo-woo. You know, by manipulating people's emotions and feelings and putting them in constant states of fear. Because when people are scared, they spend more money. Retail therapy. Buy stuff you don't need. It make me feel better. I do it. I just try to keep a balance where I'm like helping people in the community too. So it's not just all about my creature comforts. It's about theirs also. Because man, I hate when people suffer. I don't even care if I don't like them. Like I don't care if I don't care if we have nothing in common. Like, you don't like me, I don't like you, but still, if I was in proximity to something with them and something happened and they were in distress, I would still do whatever I could do to help them feel better. Because that's what we're supposed to do. We're not supposed to have so many opinions and things like that. That's humanness in me, character defects. I'm an INFJ. I'm judgmental. And I'm judging my behavior based on how I watch other people act. So if I'm like, you're just you fat piece of, you're ugly, you're this, you're that, you're all these things. I'm just talking to me because I'm seeing things in them that I don't like about myself. And I see it all the time on social media when people are trying to tell me about what I am. Like, you he or she looking thing, you know? Like, why don't you just kill yourself? I remember the first time somebody said that to me. I'm like, who says that to somebody? I would never, ever in my whole life just do the whole world a favor. Like, that's insane to me. That's what crazy is to me, is when people do things to cause harm to other people and they get off on it. Like the whole administration, every city council. Because, like, dude, you could do, like, the misappropriation of funds that I've seen in this country and the level of bullshit and resources that people use to play, then everybody can play. Yeah, that's how I look at it. So, maybe, hopefully, other people will start seeing things how I see it. It doesn't usually work out that way. I'm kind of a lone little wolf out here just saying, hey, that's a lie. That's not true. They don't mean that. How come you get so much while everybody else gets so little? And all that stuff. And then the powers that be hate that I say that, because my whole history supports my word. My entire history does. It's a trip. I'm in good standing. And the people that are in charge are not. And they don't want to find out. They don't want you to find out you want to know how people are. Go back and look people up. Find out, like, what were they like in high school? What were they like in junior high? Were they the kid on the playground that say, hey, you want some of my Cheetos? I got Cheetos. I love my Cheetos. Do you like Cheetos? You like Cheetos? You love Cheetos? Here, have some Cheetos so you could be in a vibrational frequency of love like me. You got those? And then you got the ones that are like, these are mine. These Cheetos are my Cheetos. You can't have my Cheetos. These Cheetos are mine. No, you're too poor. or you don't get no Cheetos. Your mom's on welfare. Well, my mom's on welfare because my dad left her. And then his mom didn't raise him right, so she protects him and doesn't make him pay for his mistakes. So that's why these systems exist to begin with, is because of deadbeat dads. Agencies, they exist because somebody failed someplace to honor a commitment. Now they just are welfare for the employees. So it's pretty trippy how the world is evolving. Considering the fact that more people have died, like in the last 5 years, that we will never know the numbers for all kinds of reasons, from all sorts of ways, and more people are not. They don't even want kids. Like I listened to the Leo Cub last night. It's like a test of endurance for me to listen to people that the sound of them is like nails on a chalkboard. And that kid, Leo Cub, Cubs are never kings. Dude, like, I'm trying to keep my mom out of home, and this guy is just freaking racking up ex-wives and kids, and then giving out relationship advice. It's a trip. That's funny. I was like, dude, when's the divorce? This was like a few months. Because the guy's been programming AI more than he knows his own son's birthday. I had a deadbeat dad. I could already see it in the kid's face. He's already disconnected in his own place. So those Sedona people that gather at Sedona, he was interviewing with the dude that was freaking, oh, my partner, you know, their family has a tour company. But then they're talking about not being a part of a program. But that is, in fact, the program, is to have people travel far, vast, and wide to do unuseful things instead of gathering to do useful things. It ain't me. It's the law of the universe. Like, all these people that travel in Sedona, how many people are going to show up there, do you think? 500,000? I used to go to AA conferences. Sometimes there'd be like 2,000-3,000 people that would come from Scotland, places into Omaha, all over the world, everywhere, all over the United States. They had a state map where you could pin where you're from, you know? Like, getting people to go there and to agree to do the same thing is not as easy feat, you know, to do. And back then, I might trade a thought just for real. Mom, I'm sidetracked because Mom's starting to get up. You getting up, Ma? All right, that's my